Welcome to Misty Biology. Let's learn something new. Today I will discuss about the structure of this coronavirus and the mechanism by which it enters into the cell. But before going into the details of this video, I want you to go through my previous video where I have discussed about the basic knowledge of the coronavirus so that it will be easier for you to understand it further. Okay, so let's get started. This coronavirus is a single-stranded RNA virus and it is also an enveloped virus, and this envelope is derived from the host cell plasma membrane. That means this envelope has the lipid bilayer which is made up of the host cell's lipids. Okay, and the genome of this RNA virus encodes some surface protein. One of the most important protein is this spike protein. Here I have shown this spike protein in the red color. And this spike proteins interact with the ACE2 receptor and mediates the fusion of this virus to the host cell, right? And here this second protein is the envelope protein, which is present on the envelope, and it is small and integral protein. This protein is important for the pathogenesis of the virus and the assembly of this virus particle. And the next protein is the nucleocapsid protein, and this nucleocapsid protein forms the complex with this RNA genome. The research shows that this nucleocapsid protein is a multifunction protein. And the next protein is this plasma membrane protein, and this plasma membrane protein is most abundant on the surface of this virus. So next is the spike protein. Spike protein is a type 1 fusion protein, and the characteristics of this type 1 fusion protein is the presence of these alpha helices, and this spike protein interacts with this ACE2 receptor. And the spike protein has two subunits, S1 subunit and this S2 subunit. The S1 subunit has the receptor binding domain through which it interacts with this ACE2 receptor. This S2 domain is most conserved domain. And here this spike protein assemble into a trimer to form the crown-like appearance. It is highly glycosylated protein, and the glycosylation is mostly the N-link glycosylation. Right. So let's see the organization of this spike protein. Here I have already discussed that this has two subunits, S1 subunit and the S2 subunit. Further, this S1 subunit has N-terminal receptor binding domain, C-terminal receptor binding domain, and this S2 subunit has two heptad repeats. Heptad means 7, group of 7 or the set of 7. Here the heptad repeat means the heptapeptides, and that means the 7 residues of the amino acids, where suppose if we take the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 amino acids, where the A and D repeats itself and it is hydrophobic, right? So these are the hepta repeats, and the one protein is the fusion peptide here, which later fuses with the plasma membrane of the host, and this is the transmembrane protein. This is the C terminal of this S2 subunit. Here in this protein has two cleavage sites. The cleavage site present between the S1 and S2, and the cleavage site just before this fusion peptide is the S2 dash. Now let's see how this ACE2 receptor works and where it is located. The main function of this ACE2 receptor is to convert angiotensin 2 to angiotensin 1. This is one of the steps of the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, where it is helpful for the regulation of the blood pressure, wound healing and inflammation. Here this angiotensin 2. Okay, if the spike protein binds with this ACE2 receptor, that means this ACE2 receptor is no longer functional to perform its normal function. That means at that moment there will be a problem in the blood pressure regulation, wound healing and the inflammation. Now let's see where is this ACE2 receptors are expressed. It is highly expressed on the type 2 alveolar cells or the type 2 pneumocyte cells of the lungs, and it also expressed on the gastrointestinal tract like the esophagus, enterocytes, cholangiocytes, myocardial cells, proximal tubule cells of the kidney and the bladder. Evidence suggests that this ACE2 receptor is highly present in the patients with the hypertension, diabetes and the coronary heart disease. That means it is highly expressed in these patients, right? So now we'll see how this corona enters into the host cell. There are two mechanisms by which it enters into the host cell and it releases its genome into the cytosol. One of the important step here is the receptor binding, where it fuses with the membrane of the host cell and releases its genome. And the second method is the receptor mediated endocytosis. So we'll see in the next slide. Here first let's see the fusion of viral envelope after it binds with the receptor. Okay, in my previous slide I have discussed about the spike protein and its organization. Here we'll see the two subunits here. Here the first subunit, S1 subunit, interacts with this receptor and S2 is embedded into the viral membrane. There is a cleavage between the S1 and S2 occurs, where the fusion peptide present in the S2 subunit then embed itself into the host cell membrane. Here two repeats are there, heptad repeat 1 and heptad repeat 2. These two heptad repeats later they form the 6 helical band. Three peptides from this side and 3 peptides from this side. Together they form 6 helical band. Okay. Before they form the 6 helical band, it is the pre-fusion state, and after the 6 helical band they form the post-fusion state, where these two this envelope of the virus and the host cell plasma membrane, they fuse together, right? Now the second mechanism through which this virus enters into the cell is by the receptor mediated endocytosis. As the name suggests, it first binds with the receptor and then the endocytosis occurs. That means the internalization of the whole virus occurs. Here is the picture where I have shown this viral particle interacts with the receptor and then the internalization of this whole virus occurs in the endosome, and then this viral envelope fuses with the membrane of the endosome and then it releases the single-stranded RNA. This endocytosis is pH dependent pathway. Okay. It was all about the mechanism how the virus enters into the cell. In my next video, I will discuss about the replication of this coronavirus. If you like my video, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.